The Camel and the Miller? On the edge of a lonely desert road, where the wind sings low and the sand whispers secrets older than memory, a single lantern burned inside a weather-worn mill. And on this particular night, that faint glow was the only thing standing between a weary miller and the darkness that watched him back. The miller had been grinding grain since dusk, arms aching, eyes heavy. Outside, the desert cold crept in like an invisible tide, sharp enough to sting bone. But he worked on, because that's what he always did, quietly, faithfully, alone. Then came the sound, a soft grunt, a shifting weight, a slow, deliberate snort just beyond the door. The miller froze. Everyone in this desert knew that sound. A camel. A big one. He hesitated, then cracked the door open just enough to peer outside. And there it was. Sabal, the caravan camel who'd wandered off days ago, standing tall against the night like a mountain of fur and stubbornness. Frost clung to his lashes. His long face drooped with exhaustion. "Sabal?" the miller whispered. "You poor thing, what are you doing out here?" The camel didn't answer. He simply pushed his nose forward, pressing it pitifully against the gap in the door, warm breath fogging the miller's lantern glass. The miller sighed. "Just your nose, then. Only your nose. It's freezing out there." So he opened the door a hand's width. Sabal stuck his nose in, then his mouth. Then, slowly, sneakily, half his head. The miller squinted. "I said nose, Sabal. Nose!" But Sabal blinked back innocently, as if to say, "Cold is cold, friend." The miller groaned, stepping aside for a moment to turn another sack of grain. When he looked back, the camel's entire head was inside the mill. He nearly dropped the lantern. "Sabal!" The camel chewed nothing, staring at the miller with calm desert-old patience. And before the miller could argue, a long, awkward shft thump sounded behind him. Sabal had nudged one foot through the doorway. No. Absolutely not," the miller said, pointing. "Your head is one thing, but you are not bringing that enormous body in here." But Sabal shifted, giving a low, miserable groan. Outside, the wind howled, sending a flurry of sand skittering past the door like ghosts. His front knees bent ever so slightly, trembling. The miller grimaced. "Just a leg. Fine. Just one leg." He returned to grinding flour, muttering under his breath. But every few seconds he felt a presence behind him, slowly creeping, growing larger, warmer, closer. When he finally turned around again, Sabal's entire front half was inside the mill. "Sabal!" The camel, undisturbed by the shouting, blinked down at him while a gust of icy wind rattled the shutters. "Sabal! This is ridiculous! You can't just shft! Thump! Sabal!" That was the second leg. The camel's expression was the patient, silent kind of guilt only a camel could manage. Half innocence, half clever mischief. He shifted his weight again. The mill shuddered. "No," the miller stammered. "No more. This little mill can't fit." The wind outside roared, colder and wilder than before, and Sabal flinched instinctively. The miller's shoulders slumped. He couldn't leave a creature to freeze. "Fine," he sighed. "But after this, that's it. No more concessions." He stepped aside. Sabal squeezed through the doorway, inch by inch, until, with an earth-shaking thump, the camel's entire body, gangly legs, bulky hump, swaying tail, was inside the mill. For a long moment they both stared at each other. The camel looked pleased. The miller looked defeated. Then, crack! The wooden frame splintered, and the miller threw his hands up. "Sabal, I give you an inch, and you take the entire mill." The camel blinked, chewing on nothing, then nudged the miller affectionately, warm and heavy. And in that moment, the miller understood the lesson carved quietly into the night. It's not the first concession that breaks you. It's all the ones you offer after, hoping it will be the last. He let out a long laugh, tired, rueful, and full of reluctant fondness. "All right, Sabal," he said softly, scratching the camel's cheek. "But tomorrow, you help me fix that door." Sabal snorted as though making no promises whatsoever. Like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Your support keeps these stories alive.